A new report from Illinois State's Attorney General shows the ugly truth about sex abuse in the Catholic Church. A recent investigation reveals there are way more victims than what has been reported in the past. Investigators say the church is covering up the identities of many of the abusers in Illinois. 103 individuals had been previously identified, but investigators determined, get this, nearly 2,000 children were sexually abused by Catholic clergy over a 70-year period in Illinois. A report started back in 2018 found only about 25% of the allegations received by the Catholic Church were considered credible. Victims advocates are now calling for more investigations across the country. Let's talk about it. Joining me now on The Factor Uncensored, pastor and journalist Dr. Ruth Olson and Eduardo Lopez de Casas, the board of directors for SNAP, a group that monitors abuse in the Catholic Church as well as abuse in general by religious organizations. Glad to have you all here on The Factor Uncensored. So, Eduardo, you've been following this.
Yes.
Unlike any other person I know. When you heard these numbers, I'm sure you were not shocked at all.
No, as they say, it's just another thorn in the cross that us as victims bear. What is so amazing every time reports like this come out is how little it affects the everyday church-going Catholic people. They don't understand. One of the main things that this report also came out with. Now, is it
they don't understand or they just don't care? Because it's so frequent now.
They don't care and they don't understand, but it's a shame that what we're forgetting about in all of this is the victims. Because in this report it also stated that the victims had not been paid attention to, the church had not worried about them. I even know that because in my particular case, I worked for the diocese here for 18 years, and when I started exposing these things, I got sent out of the church.
And really quick, give us a little bit of your backstory in like a 20, 30-second nutshell, why you became so involved.
I became really involved because I was working at a church here in Houston, and I was not told that my boss had been accused of abusing children. When I found out about it, I was just amazed and I started speaking out. And again, once I started doing that, then after 18 years, the diocese decided that they did not need my services anymore, which goes to show you how victims are treated. I was at a church of say 3,000-4,000 people, and not one person called after I disappeared after 18 years. Not one person came to the house to see how I was, how they could help me. No, it's just they cut me off and I'm out of the church, and the church doesn't care.
Dr. Olson, let's bring you into this conversation. When you see the numbers significantly higher than what has been reported, and what it appears they relied on the church to find credible cases, that's mistake number one.
Yeah, there needs to be independent investigation when this kind of stuff happens, or since this is happening. And I also want to say what I tell children now: there are no secrets between children and adults. And so someone who says, don't tell your parents or don't tell anybody, I'm screaming to parents, tell this to your children. Tell someone. I tell the children in our church, you tell anyone who tries to tell you that, say, no, I'm going to tell the pastor, and I'm going to tell the elder, and I'm telling everybody. So,
but what if you run into a congregation or a group like Eduardo did, where no one is responding, no one cares, no one's checking on you? Then would the next step be go to law enforcement if you have been violated and harmed as an individual?
I absolutely think so. And I also think that there shouldn't be any kind of statute of limitations on this. That people, if it was 20 years ago or 50 years ago, then there ought to be, and we ought to get some laws going to where people don't get away with this kind of thing.
And when we talk about, we're talking about Illinois now, that could mean cases are much more higher all around the country.
Yes,
Is that a microcosm for what could be going on around the country?
Yes, it's just another example of someone that finally investigated thoroughly and came out with higher numbers. We know for a fact here in Harris County that when we went through the big case of Manuel Rosa Lopez, who, thank God, is in prison for 10 years, we know that Montgomery County raided the chancery here in Houston. We also know, and they admitted at the end of the trial, that they found other cases at the chancery here in Houston. However, since that was Montgomery County, they could not reveal anything that they had found any other cases that did not apply to Manuel Rosa Lopez. So right there we already know they're hiding things here. So what needs to happen is we need to raid the chancery again, Harris County, to find out about that. We also, I have spent the past 3 months working in Austin on a bill to reform the statutes of limitation. It was our first try here in Texas, and you know that's very difficult. So of course our bill is probably not being presented, but we started the fight. You know, the other thing that we have advocated here in SNAP is we've been advocating for years for Ken Paxton to start an investigation of the Catholic Church here in Houston, and then we will have the answers we need.
All right. Thank you both for joining us here on The Factor.